You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
Remember that TV show? One of my favorites of the 80s, The Facts of Life, here on News 1110 and 99.3 WBT. Thank you for being here for the Income Strategy Show with Dolph Janis of ClearIncomeForLife.com. One of the more memorable episodes for me was when Tootie, fun character on that show, wanted to learn how to drive, but there was one problem. She didn't have a car. So getting her learner's permit and everything, I would guess Tootie would have been about 16 at the time, which would have made this about 1985. And the average cost of a new car that year was about $15,000. The average price today, more than $35,000. You know, I hope Tootie's retirement has factored in the effects of inflation, and the lady that played her, Kim Fields, she seems to be doing pretty well for herself. So hopefully she's got a good financial advisor on her side. But Dolph, what about the rest of us? How do we plan for a future that could be much more expensive? Not even could be, will be much more expensive than today.
Well, the first thing you hit the right on the nose is planning for it. Don't just expect things to happen like, oh, this year's gone by, I'll worry about it next year. And the old famous procrastination. I mean, how many people do you know just procrastinate? When it comes to retirement, we have a software that we run to show you what your needs are, what your wants are, to take away the guessing for you can know what you're going to have as a fixed income and where you're going to potentially be depending on how long you live. And then it factors in Social Security. Well, all this stuff goes together, shows you on today's rates. But then we have a little part of that software that can say, hey, let's bump inflation up 1%. Let's bump it up 2%. Let's go to 3%. And it will show you, okay, oh, Lord, I mean, I have this now, but when I'm 75, my money's only going to be worth this. And like, oh, boy, yes, oh, boy. What if I could tell you something, Kristen, that in retirement, you could give yourself a raise potentially every single year?
Well, now, I like that. That's like working for yourself and control. I like that.
It's a pretty good thing, isn't it? I mean, when you're working right now, what you're always wanting to do is hope that boss comes back and say, hey, Kristen, you've done fantastic. I'm going to give you a raise. And you're hoping for that every day when you walk into work. Well, when you're in retirement, your boss is yourself and your family, and you're paying yourself. But there are strategies out there that can give you increasing income to keep up with inflation. And it's something that nobody talks about very often. But there are strategies when we're talking about you guarantee yourself an income. And if you have an index increase within that income, your paycheck will go up the next year. So hence, if you're, let's say, taking out $10,000, and I have a client that started taking $10,000 out back in 2015, and they bought themselves, yes, an income annuity. They're not going to hide it around like some other people. And there's people out there saying, oh, annuities are horrible. You should never do this. And quote unquote, I'd rather die than offer an annuity. Well, let me ask this individual one thing. If you put your money in the stock market and you're taking money out of that stock market, what's the only way you're going to get more money out of that paycheck? You're going to have to take more money out of your portfolio.
Right.
With this income annuity, they started at $10,000 in 2015 was their yearly check, and they received it. 2016, that was $10,400. 2017, $10,900. 2018, last year we did the review, it's $11,600. They got a big jump that year. So they've gone from taking $10,000 a year out to $11,600 a year out in 3 years. That's an 11.6% increase on their paycheck. Mm-hmm. So guess what? They got a raise. So if that continues, and then there's going to be years where it's not going to increase. I mean, it'll stay at 11.6, but it locks it in at 11.6 going forward. So if you have that option to increase your income potentially, you might want to look into it, because those people are out there in Wall Street and say, hey, Mr. Jones or Miss Charles, and you want to take out some more money, just take a little bit more out of your portfolio. It will come back. Well, guess what? If it doesn't come back and your portfolio starts running dry and inflation starts going up, that leads to a disaster called outliving your money.
Mm-hmm. On the Income Strategy Show with Dolph Janis of Clear Income Strategies on News 1110 and 99.3 WBT.